Hey, it's Adam Lovell coming back to you from knuckletfup.com. That's knuckletfup.com. Man, we are here to talk about last night in Philadelphia. What happened in the city, just about an hour and a half away from me, was something that has to be seen to be understood. If you like good fights, well, if you like quick knockouts, let's put it that way. If you like exciting fights, if you like knockouts, if you like people that get in the ring and get their shit done and collect their money and go home, then Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship from Philadelphia was the show for you again last night in Philadelphia. Let's jump right into it. The show kicked off with Dalvin Blair taking on Jason D'Annunzio, and this was over before it began. D'Annunzio looked like he didn't belong. I hate to say that about any fighter. I really do, and we're going to say it a lot tonight or something similar, because a lot of these fights were clearly one-sided. Now, were they booked that way, meaning did they put two fighters together that they knew the result would be quick and exciting and fast? I don't know. I don't work in the industry. I'm not here to make any guesses in regard to that kind of thing. I saw it out there on social media. That's why I'm bringing it up. I saw some fighters saying it, that some of these bouts were set up to be these quick, explosive, short knockouts. I don't know. All I know is that I love bare knuckle fighting, and I love Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and I love this show, including this bout. But Blair dominated D'Annunzio. The first time he hit him, it was pretty much over. D'Annunzio kept going, but was knocked down 4 times within a minute and 20 seconds. That's wild, folks. That's wild. And again, I don't want to insult any fighter. Anybody who has the skills, the guts, and the willingness to step into a bare knuckle fight has my respect for sure. But man, this was over before it started. Blair knocked out D'Annunzio within less than 2 minutes. Next up was another dominant performance. We had Lex Ludlow. It doesn't sound anything like it, but it makes me think of the bad guy from Superman, right? Lex Luthor. No, this is Lex Ludlow versus Lewis Ramsey. And this was another bout that was over pretty damn quick. Now, granted, this one did go to the second round, but not long into it. Lex Ludlow was having none of this. He knocks Lewis Ramsey down 5 times in 2 rounds, and the second round was very short. On the 5th time he knocked him down, it was over. It was done. Ludlow not only wins this, but then gets on the microphone and challenges every damn heavyweight in the company. Not everyone, but he challenged a number of them, including the champion. He says he's coming for everyone. He's going to easily defeat them. I think his tiny little trunks are a distraction. Again, no disrespect to the guy. Hell of a fighter. Rumsey's very experienced and just got the shit kicked out of him here. Yeah, like I said, it went to 2 rounds, but not long into 2 rounds. But Ludlow, put him in there, boy. He's got a mouth, and I like and appreciate it. He can cut a promo. I like and appreciate it. Put him in there against the badasses, and let's see what happens to the dude. Okay? He could stand tall. He could walk out the champion. Who knows? He could be knocked down to size. I would like to see it. Let's make it happen. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Next up, we had Elijah Harris taking on Isaiah Carson. Elijah Harris versus Isaiah Carson. And 7 seconds, folks. This fight lasted 7 seconds. There's nothing to talk about here. That's not meaning I didn't like it and I didn't appreciate it. I did. Carson, this is his 2nd fight in a row where he's knocked his opponent out in 7 seconds. This is his 3rd fight. I think his first opponent was 20-some seconds. Basically, in his 3 fights, Harris has not fought 1 minute. It's 30-some seconds in 3 fights. It's ridiculous. And I can't tell you what Carson is like. I can't tell you what kind of fighter he is. I have no idea. He got knocked out in 7 seconds. No, that doesn't mean he's a bad fighter. That means, unfortunately, he got beat down from the badass Carson in this fight. And like I said, 7 seconds, what's there to talk about other than to say that Harris is the man? Apparently. Let's see him in there with he wants a top 5 fighter. He should get it. We have to see what kind of a fighter this guy really is. And so far, his first 3 opponents haven't really let us see that, right? I mean, it's really as simple as that. Next up was one of my favorite fights of the night. It was Maurice Horn versus Cody Vidal. And Cody Vidal came out to I Am a Real American. Now, as a former professional wrestling fan, I've shoved that shit to the side now. I'm not into it today. But as a almost 50-year fan of professional wrestling, nobody respects, likes, and appreciates Hulk Hogan, brother, more than me. But Cody Vidal came out to I Am a Real American, waving the American flag around, doing the ear cup thing that Hogan did. It was awesome to see. Sadly, since we just recently learned yesterday that Hulk Hogan has left us. Rest in peace, brother. But Cody Vidal picked up the charisma, came in here, the much shorter man. Well, no, he was 6 feet, Horn 6'1", much shorter reach, I meant to say. Horn had a 78-inch reach. Vidal had a 71-inch reach, even though there was only 1 inch difference in their height. You don't see that often. It's something amazing to see. I think it hurt Horn. I do. I think he tried to take advantage of the reach. And of course, it only makes sense, right? Well, of course he would, Adam. Okay, I know that. But I think he relied on that advantage too much. Cody Vidal relied on aggressiveness and coming forward, coming forward, coming forward. Now, as he came forward, Vidal was getting hit with body shots. Horn was doing a wonderful job on the body shots, hitting the solar plexus, but Vidal was eating them and continuing to come forward. I think if this would have went to the judges, he would have won for aggressiveness. I do. Didn't go to the judges because in the 4th round, Cody Vidal knocked Horn down and out. How? Well, he started to realize, his team started to tell him that as you're getting hit with those body shots, he's completely exposed to jabs, hooks, and uppercuts. So start delivering them. And deliver them he did, ending this in the 4th round after knocking him down 3 times. Cody Vidal with a big win here. He wants a bigger contender next. He should get it. This guy's great. Incredible charisma on the microphone. Loved him. I want to see more of Cody Vidal for sure. And hopefully we absolutely get to do that. The next fight on the card continued with the theme of the night. Quick knockout. Pat Sullivan, the Irishman. I'm Irish. I love the Irish. Great culture. Great country. Knocks out Crazy Eyes Austin Peterson in 15 damn seconds. How'd he do it? By doing what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to come out, he was going to go forward, he was going to be aggressive, and he was going to take it to Austin Peterson, and he did it. He overwhelmed and knocked old Crazy Eyes on his ass and out. Unfortunately, I didn't get a screen grab of Austin Peterson's Crazy Eyes when he was knocked out, but he was like, oh, he was out in 15 seconds. So again, what can we say about Pat Sullivan other than he's aggressive, other than he's a badass? Not much. 15 seconds of fighting doesn't give me much to tell you about his bobbing and weaving or his sweet science or what have you. Same thing with Austin Peterson. But this was the theme of the night. These fighters came to Philly wanting to show people they were badasses, and by God, nearly every single one of these fighters, especially the ones who won, did so, including Pat Sullivan. I love this fight as well, even though it was 15 seconds. Hard for fight of the night to be a couple second knockout, but I still loved it, and this show has been going great. Next fight was an interesting one, not a long one again. It got to 2 rounds here, but Alessio Sakara, now he is a boxer from Rome, an MMA fighter from Rome, I guess very well known over there in the UK and in Rome. He's like one of the most famous ones over there from my understanding. I don't know. Boxer, MMA guy, 6'1", 212 pounds. And here he was taking on Eric Lozano. Now, Eric Lozano got some insults online. There people were saying he wasn't a good enough opponent for Sakara. But at the same time, when you bring somebody in that you're pushing, that you're trying to say is going to be a big deal, I'm not saying you give him a tomato can, but I'm saying you don't want to put him in there with his best opponent in his first fight, right? If there's a chance he's going to lose, and there's always a chance, no matter who you fight in bare knuckle, there's a chance you're losing, no matter what. But that said, they did put him in there with someone they believed he could beat and would beat, because you just don't want someone like Sakara losing his first fight. But let me tell you what, all Lozano came out in the first round and poured it on. His strategy was clear to everybody watching this fight. If I'm going to win this, I got to get a flash, a shocking knockout of Sakara in the first round just by being aggressive. And that's what he did. Sakara ate everything Lozano had to offer, but I think it woke Sakara up. He got a big cut on his eye and was like, oh shit, I better take this guy out. And he didn't do it in the first round. Lozano was so aggressive that Sakara pretty much spent the entire first round defending and counter boxing. Okay? It's what he had to do to survive. So props to Lozano for making this a close, good, and exciting first round. But when Sakara came out in the second round, he took over. He used his boxing experience to come hard. He realized I can't, he likes to go. He said, I like to go full fights. I don't look for the knockout. Well, brother, this is bare knuckle. Most opponents you're going to get in that ring with are going to look for the knockout. It's going to be their goal. So I'm not telling you what to do in your strategy. Far be it from me. I have no right or ability to do so. But I think he was looking for the knockout in the second round because he got it. He knew he had to sit Lozano down. He had to knock him on his ass because Lozano was not going to stop coming hard. And to his credit, that's what he did. Now, what happened after this, I'm not sure what I think of it. I'm not going to, degrade or put down Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Of course not. But after the big win, during the interview, Chris Camozzi is there, the champion. And they pretty much set up a fight coming up on the card in Rome. Of course, it makes sense. Promotional-wise, it makes perfect sense. In Rome, come on. In Rome, you're going to have these two guys, these two Italian guys, fight each other, Sakara and the champion. I mean, of course it makes some sense. But there's no way you can make a strong argument that Sakara is the #1 top contender. You just can't do it. Being a new fan, I can't run down a list of guys who deserve it. I can't. And I'm not even saying that Sakara doesn't deserve it. I'm having a hard time finding the words here. But you get the gist of what I mean, right? I'm not saying Sakara doesn't deserve a shot at all under any circumstance. But it's weird that after his very first fight, where he had to kick it into gear to beat a guy he should have destroyed, and he did destroy him in the second round, that he now gets a championship fight. What do you guys think of it? I don't know. I'm fine with it. It will be a good fight. I just think it's a little rushed right now. That's how I see it. Again, tell me what you guys think. Am I off here? Am I crazy? I don't think so. Next up was a 2-rounder. Now that's, they only have 5 rounds in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, so it almost made it halfway. No, but John Garbarino, this guy, another charismatic guy, came out to Eye of the Tiger, one of those Rocky songs, dressed in the red, white, and blue. Very charismatic. Really like this guy. He took on Eric Lopez. Eric, shave your head, brother. But, no. This was a good fight, but not a great fight. The first round was pretty much dominated by Garbarino. Okay, he pretty much came out and took control. Now that, Eric Lopez was tough as hell. He got his shots in. I'm not saying it was completely dominated. I'm saying it was controlled. Let's use the word controlled. Garbarino controlled the first round, but Eric Lopez surviving and getting his shots in. But in the second round, Garbarino came out and just dominated. I will say he dominated the short amount of distance that the second round lasted. In total, Garbarino knocked down his opponent Lopez 5 damn times. So this was another dominant performance by the winner, John Garbarino. And Garbarino, very good on the mic, a very good interview, had a lot to say, honored a friend that recently passed. I think he said he buried him the day before the fight. I mean, God bless you, brother. And to be focused and win that dominantly after losing someone you clearly loved, and he had his picture on his shirt. Incredible job. Good fight, short fight, but I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see Garbarino face somebody a little bit stronger, a little bit more important, for sure. Folks, we're almost at the end of this card. We have 2 fights remaining. Before we jump into the 2 main events, the main event and the semi-main event, Let me just say I appreciate Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship giving the Hulkster Hulk Hogan a 10-bell salute, asking the fans to be silent as they did so. That's an honorable thing. There is a wrestling company out there, I'm not even going to drop their initials or their name, who are completely ignoring the fact that one of the industry giants, or the industry giant, look, it's Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin of the modern era, who are the two industry giants. Maybe throw Ric Flair in there, maybe. And for any company, especially a wrestling company that's on television, to not even briefly mention the passing of Hulk Hogan, that is just embarrassing and pathetic and wrong. So Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, not even a pro wrestling company, not even close, honoring the Hulkster the way that they did with the 10-bell salute and a graphic on the screen. You guys are awesome. Next up was this semi-main event. Well, they called this a co-main event, and it was Gabrielle Roman versus Rosa Rodriguez. The ladies stepped into the ring and went at it. They were fast. They were furious. This was my second favorite fight of the night. Okay? Got 3 favorite fights of the night. This was one of them. I don't know what order they're in, but this was very solid. Gabrielle Roman and Rosa Rodriguez took it to each other like men typically do, and I'm going to get in trouble for that comment. There are a lot of strong women fighters, don't get me wrong, but I just watched a famous woman fighter fight in another organization, not bare knuckle, that put me to sleep. I mean, I respect her, please don't misunderstand me, but the fight style she chose was a survival fight, right? I'm not going to get knocked out, I'm not going to lose my championship, I'm going to take my sweet time and win it with the judges. And so anytime I see women get in this ring, any type of ring, whether it be boxing, bare knuckle, gloved, karate, whatever, I appreciate when they go all out like these two did. It was fast and furious until the end of the first round. It started to slow a little bit. Both women started to guard a little bit more and tried to choose their shots, and it wasn't long until the bell rang. The second round they came out, fought very similarly. Very good, but much slower pace than the beginning of that first round. I mean, sometimes, fighters get in the ring and are just all charged up and they go crazy. And sometimes it's to their benefit. They get a quick knockout. Both of these ladies realized that neither one of them got a quick knockout, so they got more into a boxing, more into a professional fighting pace. That doesn't mean slow. It just means slower. And that's how the second round went. It was clear that Rodriguez was landing more shots, starting to sort of break through the guard of Gabrielle Roman, but both of them survived round 2. It was round 3 that Rodriguez figured something out with her team. Not that she was doing bad, but she figured something out because she started really getting through and around the strategy that Gabrielle Roman was using, and really landed a lot of strong jabs to her face, busting up her facial features in a pretty significant way. I mean, there wasn't tons of blood or anything, but a lot of bruising, a lot of small cuts on the face of Gabrielle Roman, and she got controlled so much so that the refs stepped in and stopped this fight in the third round, keeping Rosa Rodriguez undefeated in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and possibly going after Britain Hart's title next. We'll have to wait and see. Might have to fight one more fight before that. Not entirely sure. Have to wait and see what Hart says about it. But Rosa Rodriguez undefeated, likely on her way to a championship bout. Gabrielle Roman, still tough. Did a good job. Still want to see her in fights. I don't think she's done by any means, or this is a major setback for her she can overcome. And I'm looking forward to that as well. We are at the main event. And what a main event it was. Dustin Peg versus Ryan Peterson. Maybe it's Pog. I'm sorry. Dustin Pog versus Ryan Peterson. Two of the strongest, fast-rising, badass fighters in all of bare knuckle fighting, going one-on-one. And I'm telling you, at the opening bell, the description I just gave of these guys came to fruition. It was painted right in front of your face as they went so hard at each other. I've never seen anything like this. They went so hard at each other, and you can see it in one of the screen grabs I have here, that they both landed hard right jabs to each other's face at the same damn time. Both were rocked. Both were rocked. But it was Dustin Pog who went down. He had to get an 8 count. I mean, he went down hard. He said after this fight, and I'm jumping a little bit ahead, that the whole half, his one eye was blacked out completely. He could only see like his eye was closed. It was crazy. He said he couldn't believe it. He knew, oh no, here we go. Oh shit. I mean, he was taken aback by this. A lot of people thought it was over. A lot of people thought he ain't going to continue. He continued being able to see out of one damn eye. And he's so skilled that he survived, and he had to survive because, let me tell you what, Peterson was pouring it on. Peterson was taking advantage of that blindness of the one eye, and he was controlling him pretty well, putting him where he wanted him to go. But Pog fought hard enough to stay in it and survive the round. Now, this is where they looked at his eye, at Dustin Pog's eye. Were they going to stop this? They did not. I mean, I'm not going to advocate that they should have. Doctors know what they're doing. Doctors, and especially fight doctors, they are not going to risk somebody's eyesight or life. They're not going to do it. So they said Dustin Pog could continue. And this went into another blazing round two, only this time Dustin could see. And this was fast. This was furious. So much so, again, jumping ahead, David Feldman, the owner, the CEO of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, said, you guys are getting double pay tonight. I'm doubling your pay. That's how good this was, even though it ended in the second round when Dustin Pog knocked out Ryan Peterson, standing knockout. Referee stepped in, got between him and said, no. Peterson has suffered enough. There are people questioning it. Of course, online trolls out there. That's just what they are, whether they like being called that or not. Saying, oh, early stoppage. If there's some fighters out there saying that, I can respect that. Fans, you don't know what you're talking about. The ref's right there in the middle of the ring. He sees the condition of the fighters. He sees their eyes and if they're connected and if they're not. He sees if they're a little bit, delirious and if they're not. I trust the refs. I trust the doctors. And this was a stoppage, a standing knockout for the man that looked like he was set to lose it because he couldn't see out of one eye in the first round. And while he was improved in the second, he was still rocked. But he came back and won the fight in the middle of the second round with a standing knockout over Ryan Peterson. And this show was amazing. I mean, if you like long, drawn-out fights, well fought, bloody battles that go all 5 rounds, this show isn't for you. Some of you out there that are more educated in this sport than me are going to say there was too many mismatches, and that's why the fights were short. I loved it. Do I want every show to? No. All these shows are full of variety because you never know how a fighter's going to work and how a fighter's going to, what his style's going to be, and if there's going to be, Bull of the Woods charging each other, at the opening bell, or if they're going to take it slow. You never know. Here, I mean, it fits the city of Philadelphia, the ECW arena, for God's sake. These guys came out there and fought like gladiators, fought like warriors, and I'm giving this show a 9 out of 10. It was near perfection. I absolutely loved it. I don't rate shows just based on my enjoyment of them, or I'd give them all 9s and 10s. The fights were good, even though most of them, nearly all of them, were short. They were still good. They were still solid. I like seeing guys who go out there to win, not just survive, not to win by points, not to retain their title just by being careful, but by going out there and kicking ass. And that's what they did here. And in my opinion, that makes this show a 9 out of 10, just short of perfection. There were no title fights, okay? I'm not really punishing them for that, but sometimes that helps a little bit, right? Give us some kind of title fight or a top contender fight or something. But 9 out of 10 is still near perfection. Must-see show. 3 major, incredible fight of the nights, in my opinion. Folks, I'm so happy to have this sport in my life. A real sport with real men. And again, thank you for honoring the Hulkster back when wrestling was great. But again, I'm Adam Lovell of KnuckleTFUp.com. Knuckle the fuck up and go to that website. Subscribe to this YouTube. And I'll be back again real soon.